Every year, thousands of people buy a used luxury car thinking they got a deal. 6 months later, they're staring at a repair bill that costs more than the car is worth. But in the used market, there are 7 luxury bargains that are absolutely indestructible, and you can buy at very low price. Cars that lost 90% of their value, not because they break, but because status-obsessed owners got bored. These were built with blank check budgets to survive the Autobahn at triple-digit speeds. Today, I'm showing you engine codes, engineering secrets, and maintenance hacks that separate gold mines from money pits. Let's get right into it now. Car number 7, the Invisible Luxury, Acura RL with SH-AWD, 2005 to 2012. We're starting with a car that could change your financial future, but nobody even knows it exists. And that's exactly why it's a gold mine. The Acura RL was Honda's flagship sedan. They threw everything they had at it. The super-handling all-wheel drive system actively vectors torque between the rear wheels. This wasn't basic all-wheel drive slapped on for marketing. This was genuine innovation, more advanced than anything BMW or Mercedes offered. The interior was loaded. The build quality was obsessive in the way only Honda can be, and nobody cared. The market wanted German badges. They wanted to tell their neighbors they drove a BMW or Mercedes. The Acura RL sold in tiny numbers, depreciated like a stone, and now collects dust in classifieds across America, while everyone fights over overpriced German alternatives. The engine is Honda's J-Series V6, specifically the J35 or J37 depending on year. Same family that powers the Odyssey and Ridgeline. Parts everywhere. Any mechanic can work on it. The timing belt is the only major service item. Original MSRP was $50,000 to $55,000. Today, you find clean examples for $5,000 to $9,000. That's 90% depreciation on a car that still runs perfectly. The SH-AWD system is mechanical, not electronic. It uses a planetary gear set and clutch packs to distribute torque. No sensors to fail, no computers to glitch. It just works, year after year, exactly as Honda designed it. Maintenance hack: transmission fluid. Honda automatics live and die by their fluid. Change it every 30,000 miles with genuine Honda fluid, and the transmission will outlast the body. Neglect it, and you're shopping for a new transmission at 150,000 miles. This is the difference between a gold mine and a money pit. But here's the thing: what I just showed you, that's nothing compared to what's coming. If you think that's a good deal, wait until you see what the Germans were doing in the 90s when money was no object. Car number 6, the Bond car, BMW E38 7 Series, 1995 to 2001. Before BMW became obsessed with turbos, touchscreens, and subscription services for heated seats, they built the E38. This is the 7 Series that appeared in 3 James Bond films, and there's a reason for that. It looks like money, and it drives like money. The engine you want is the M62 4.4-liter V8. This was BMW's workhorse V8 before they started chasing horsepower numbers with unreliable technology. The M62 uses an aluminum block with Nikasil-coated cylinders in early years and Alusil in later ones. Get a 1999 or newer with updated timing chain guides, and this engine is bulletproof. The ZF 5-speed automatic behind it went into Land Rovers, Jaguars, and dozens of other luxury vehicles. Regular fluid changes and it sees 300,000 miles without a rebuild. Original was $70,000 in 90s money. That's over $120,000 adjusted for inflation. Today, you can find excellent examples for $5,000 to $10,000. You're paying used Corolla money for a car that cost more than a house when new. Maintenance hack: the cooling system. BMW used plastic components everywhere. Replace with aluminum and silicone for $400, and you've eliminated the only common failure point. The engine doesn't overheat. The plastic just gets brittle. Check for timing chain rattle on cold start, and look underneath for any coolant residue. Clean on both counts? You've got a car that drives better than most new luxury sedans for beater money. Now, most people would stop here. They'd think, okay, I found my car. But what I'm about to show you next is going to make you question everything you thought you knew about British cars. Stay with me. Car number 5, the aluminum tank. Jaguar XJ350, 2004 to 2009. A Jaguar on a reliability list? I know what you're thinking. Have I lost my mind? Hear me out. The X350 was the first Jaguar with an all-aluminum monocoque body. Not marketing speak, real innovation. Jaguar developed an entirely new process. The result? A car that cannot rust. Ever. While BMWs and Mercedes from 2004 are becoming rust buckets, the X350 looks factory fresh. The engine is the 4.2-liter AJ-V8, developed with Ford. Simple, robust, overbuilt. Cast iron liners in aluminum block. Timing chains instead of belts. Jaguar tested this engine obsessively before production. Original was $65,000 to $80,000. Today you find clean examples for $8,000 to $15,000. Maintenance hack: air suspension. Like the Mercedes, the Jaguar uses air struts that eventually fail. Budget for a coilover conversion or factor the strut replacement into your purchase price. Beyond the suspension, the engine and transmission are genuinely solid. Regular oil changes and the AJ-V8 will see 200,000 miles without drama. People fear the cat, but this cat has 9 lives. Alright, now we're crossing into territory that separates the smart buyers from everyone else. The next 4 cars aren't just good deals, they're the kind of opportunities that can literally change your life. If you're still watching, you're about to understand why Japanese engineering rewrote the rulebook. Car number 4, the 300,000-mile appliance. Lexus LS430, 2001 to 2006. This isn't just a car. This is what happens when a company decides to spend $1 billion in 1980s money just to prove a point. And that decision is about to save you thousands. When Lexus launched in 1989, Toyota had one mission: beat Mercedes-Benz at their own game. They didn't want to match German quality, they wanted to humiliate it. The LS400 was the opening shot. The LS430 was the knockout punch. The engine is the 3UZFE 4.3-liter V8. Toyota designed it with a target of 500,000 miles. Cast iron block, aluminum heads. Timing belt that lasts forever if changed at 90,000 miles. No chain to stretch, no turbo to fail. I've worked on LS430s with over 400,000 miles that still ran like brand new cars. The owners just did oil changes and timing belts. That's it. No major repairs, no surprises. The 6-speed automatic transmission was developed specifically for this car. Toyota didn't use a supplier. They built it in-house because they didn't trust anyone else to meet their standards. This transmission doesn't have a common failure point. It just works. Original was $55,000 to $65,000 depending on trim. Today, clean examples with reasonable miles go for $8,000 to $14,000. No maintenance hack needed because there's nothing that commonly breaks. Check the timing belt service history and verify the mileage. That's your entire inspection checklist. The LS430 won't make your heart race. It doesn't have aggressive styling or a screaming exhaust note, but it will start every single morning for the next 20 years without complaint. That's worth more than excitement. And if you think Toyota only hides their best engineering in sedans, you're about to discover something that could save you $30,000. I'm not exaggerating. Car number 3, the Land Cruiser in a suit. Lexus GX470, 2003 to 2009. Here's a market hack that most people will never discover. What I'm about to tell you could literally save you $30,000 on the same exact vehicle. Pay close attention. The Toyota Land Cruiser Prado is one of the most respected off-road vehicles on Earth. It's used by aid organizations, military contractors, and explorers who need something that absolutely will not fail in the middle of nowhere. The Prado has a cult following because it delivers on that promise every single time. The Lexus GX470 is the exact same vehicle with leather seats and a Lexus badge. Under the skin, it's mechanically identical to the Prado. Same ladder frame, same suspension geometry, same transfer case, same locking differential, same engine. The 2UZFE 4.7-liter V8 is an iron block monster that Toyota built to survive absolutely anything you throw at it. This engine has no known failure points, no timing chain issues, no head gasket problems, no oil consumption concerns. It just runs. A clean Land Cruiser Prado of the same era sells for $30,000 to $45,000 because of its legendary cult following. A clean GX470 sells for $12,000 to $18,000 because it has a Lexus badge and people think it's just a mall crawler for soccer moms. It's the exact same vehicle. Same engineering, same capability, different badge. $30,000 difference. Let that sink in for a second. Maintenance. Timing belt at 90,000 miles along with the water pump. Budget $800 for a shop to do it properly. After that, just change your oil and drive. That's the entire maintenance schedule for the next 200,000 miles. When you're shopping, check for rust on the frame, particularly if the car spent time in the rust belt. The body panels won't rust because they're steel-backed but not structural. However, the frame is steel. A clean frame and a timing belt service receipt means you've got a vehicle that will run for another 300,000 miles without breaking a sweat. Now I need you to really pay attention here. The next two cars were built in an era when manufacturers still believed in genuine overkill. Before accountants killed engineering. Before profit margins destroyed quality. These are machines from a time that's never coming back. Do not skip ahead. Car number 2, the Dakar Rally Survivor, Porsche Cayenne S 955/957, 2003 to 2010. I know what you're thinking right now. Porsche on a budget reliability list? This has to be a mistake. But what if I told you this specific Porsche was engineered to survive conditions that would destroy most vehicles in a matter of days? When Porsche developed the Cayenne, they partnered with Volkswagen and built it on the same platform as the VW Touareg. But Porsche didn't trust VW's engineering standards to meet their requirements, so they reinforced everything. Every component. Every mounting point. The Cayenne was then tested in the Dakar Rally, real desert racing, the kind of abuse that destroys normal SUVs in days. The engine in the Cayenne S is the M48 4.5-liter V8. This is a naturally aspirated, dual overhead cam engine with variable valve timing and a dry sump oil system derived from Porsche's racing program. The bottom end is massively overbuilt. The heads flow beautifully, and without a turbo to fail, the engine just keeps running mile after mile. Original was $55,000 to $70,000. Today, you find clean examples for $8,000 to $15,000. Critical maintenance hack that separates the good deals from the nightmares: the coolant pipe. The early Cayennes have a plastic coolant pipe that runs through the valley of the engine. When this pipe fails, and it will fail eventually, coolant leaks internally and destroys the engine. The fix is a $300 part and about 8 hours of labor to replace it preventatively. If a seller has the receipt showing the coolant pipe was replaced, buy the car with confidence. No receipt? Either negotiate the repair cost into the price or walk away. Beyond the coolant pipe, these engines regularly see 200,000 miles without major issues. The Aisin 6-speed automatic transmission is the same unit used in the Lexus LX470, which tells you everything you need to know about its reliability. Porsche SUV, desert racing engineering, less than a new Corolla. All right, this is it, the moment you've been waiting for, the #1 pick. The car that makes everything else on this list look like a warm-up. If you've made it this far, I promise you this last one is going to completely change how you think about used luxury cars. This is the one that keeps me up at night because so few people know about it. Car number 1, the bulletproof hot rod, Mercedes E55 AMG W211, 2003 to 2006. This is the car that Mercedes built when engineers still ran the company, before accountants took over, before cost-cutting became the religion. This is what happens when you let perfectionists build a machine without budget constraints. The W211 E55 AMG came with the M113K supercharged V8. Mercedes took their reliable M113 and made it insane. Lysholm-type supercharger, forged internals, intercooler system for sustained high-speed Autobahn runs, 469 horsepower stock. But AMG knew owners would tune, so they built the bottom end for 700 horsepower. Forged crank, reinforced rods, heavy-duty oil pump. This wasn't built for 100,000 miles. This was built for 300,000 miles of abuse. Original sticker was $80,000. Today, $12,000 to $18,000. Why so cheap? Airmatic suspension. Struts fail. Compressors die. Dealers quote $4,000. The hack. Convert to coilovers for $1,200. Problem solved forever. The engine, transmission, supercharger, those outlast you. I've seen M113K engines pass 250,000 miles, making full boost. The 5-speed auto was used across the entire Mercedes lineup. Parts everywhere. 500 horsepower. Hand-built AMG V8. Luxury sedan comfort. All for the price of a used Camry. This is the ultimate gold mine. The best-kept secret in the entire used luxury car market. And now you know about it. The pro-level buying strategy. Before you rush out and buy any of these, let me save you from making a costly mistake. Here are the rules that separate winners from victims. Pre-purchase inspection is mandatory. $150 to $200 for an independent mechanic to check everything. Not the seller's guy, your guy. This saves you from the 10% that actually are money pits. Service history beats mileage every time. 180,000 miles with full records beats 80,000 with nothing. History shows how it was treated. These cars have hit bottom. A $12,000 E55 AMG isn't dropping to $6,000. You're buying at the floor. Drive it for years, sell it for what you paid. Luxury is fleeting. Status is always temporary. But real engineering lasts forever. You don't need a $1,000 monthly car payment to drive like a CEO. You just need to know exactly where to look for these hidden gems. These 7 cars were built with engineering standards that modern manufacturers will never, ever touch again. They were designed to run for many decades. Which one are you getting? Tell me in the comments below. If you want indestructible luxury sedans, click the video on screen. Or for more luxury SUVs, I covered 4 hidden gems right here. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.